Alright folks, welcome to this episode. In this exciting video, we're away to go and look at a few interesting things. There's like an ancient Roman fort, or where one was anyway. There's like a stone dam which was built who even knows when. But we're going down to have a look at it. And basically we're on the main road here between Kirriemuir and Kirriemuir, and many of us will have probably driven across this bridge. And this little burn here, which goes under the bridge, was actually re-diverted. The original route of the burn used to go this way, and it was blocked with big stones. And we're away to walk the original route of the burn, and that takes us to the Roman fort. So let's get into it, folks. Apparently there was a big sluice or something around here at one time, which used to divert the water to the farm. Look at this, folks, there's an old date on the bridge. 1872. So there you go, that's ancient history to start the video. Anyway folks, let's get into it. We're joined on this video by AKR, channel historian, featuring on some recent videos. So this is not actually where the original gate into here used to be. The original gate used to be over here, and apparently the reason they moved the gate is because a horse broke its back, because when it went down into the field, the carriage ran away. What was it? The carriage ran away and broke the horse's back.
Pulled the horse backwards.
Oh, it pulled the horse backwards. So there's a bit of local history, folks. This here is the route where the old burn used to come. Yeah, the old burn would have come down in this way here. Crazy, folks, crazy. So this is the area here where that gate was, where the horse got his back broken, like. So that shows the era too when they were using that gate. They were using horses for farming. And we're away to go down this route here. So now it's autumn. The colour of the trees is still crazy, but the grass is short enough that we can actually negotiate these crazy explorers. This is basically off the beaten path. There is no path around here. But this is actually the route where the original burn had gone. Right around the side of this trees here. Nowadays you wouldn't really be allowed to reroute a stream. We're walking through the bog grass here. So this here would have been the bed of the original stream running down here. If we follow this route in, the Roman fort and that's in here, which is pretty cool. We might not be able to see nothing on the surface of the Roman fort, but if we keep going down here, there's a cool stone dam which must have been built maybe in like the 1800s or something to re-divert the water if it was like high river conditions. So all that history is just lost in this wilderness. It's so cool to come and explore it. Look at this is crazy. This is real deal soggy here. I'm going for this dry ground. Some of these trees are massive and ancient. Look at this fungi on the neck of this tree here. Crazy. Probably that tree's like rotten inside or something. That'll be how it's like that. The history of this place dates back even later than these old trees. Like, this must have been like a Roman stronghold. And there's a Roman road comes through the town of Kirriemuir, through Kirriemuir, and this is where it leads to. It leads to this ancient fort. Quite a lot of the history we look at on this channel is like Victorian and that, but this is even older. so it's pretty cool. We can still see the route of the old barn going round the bottom of this hill. So the nearest big river to us, here AKR, I can see a herd of cows coming through over here. So the nearest big river to this area is the River South Esk, which is just coming through those trees up there. This burn here would have originally fed into that, and you can see the line where the burn used to go, leading through this field in front of us. We were going to follow the route of that old barn, eh? Those cows are coming through, I think, didn't they?
Yeah, they're definitely in that field. So if we follow the old barn route...
They're in this field we're in.
Yeah.
There's no fence between us and them. Right folks, this windy corner of the wood here that we're in, looking out over this field in front of us, this is where the ancient Roman fort used to be. And we're talking like 1500 years ago, nearly 2000 years ago maybe, there was people here. The Roman road from Kirriemuir came down here and joined onto that. This big branch must have broken off up there somewhere. It's a beast. So yeah, this place it is cool. You can't really tell. If I didn't know like the history of the area, I wouldn't have known by looking at it that there used to be a Roman fort there. Like, and there's no particular year written in the history books about it. It's just unknown. I do apologise if there's wind in the shot there, folks, but it's just Scottish weather. Look at this. Somebody's written that in the tree years ago. That's maybe been like 100 years ago. Somebody's written that. Somebody walking down here in their top hat. These beech trees are incredible along here. I think this bit we're walking through is actually part of the Roman fort though. I think it came to the top of this hill, according to the picture. Because it was like a big rectangle, eh? And the edge of it was out of the field. Look at the way these trees are, they're just growing all directions. Massive beech trees. We can see the route of that burn still down there, like. The route of that burn guides us pretty much to the next ancient artefact on our quest here. Here there's a herd of cows now down here. That could hinder us a bit. Look at this folks, there's actually a year here. Is that the 29th to the 4th, 84? That could be 1884 even, maybe not even 1984. So, no. 79 I think that says. This must have been a popular walking spot over the years. Look at this folks, there's two deer right there. Oh, I probably didn't get them on video. 1943 on this tree. Look at the deer running across there. There's another one. Live action folks. They just about had a head-on collision with us on this top path. They're probably running away from the cows as well. We might be doing that pretty soon. Every one of these trees has got old stuff written in them. I think this says 1902. Maybe not. It's hard to tell what year that is. That looks like an old one. In this field you can see the line of the old barn going down there. There's so many cows down there. They're in the water, I can see. Look at these old trees. Look, that one's been rotted right down to the ground in the middle. It's just broken eventually with the Scottish storms. Look at the size of this tree, folks. And that could be near 300-year-old. Even the branches are like the size of a normal tree. There's been a lot come off this. Maybe this tree here hit this in when it came or something. And when it came down. for a bit of Scottish beef down there, folks. It'll not be long before you get that for the copy. A couple of quarter pounders. See, look at them, they're actually going through the water. Those little cafes are having the time of life. It's like when you watch Planet Earth and there's like wildebeests at the oasis. So cool. Those cows are just chilling down there. They're probably starting to feel the cold Scottish air now though, 'cause I'm certainly feeling it. Like, look at this old tree again, like, it's just all the way along here. Every tree's got somebody's initials scored into it, like. It's crazy to imagine history and think who actually wrote that. What were they wearing when they wrote it? Where did they come from? It's crazy. We can still also see the route of the old burn leading down between the middle of that field. So many cows, eh? They look like wildebeests or something. They look wild. We'll have to go down the bottom of this field. This is the back end of Inverquarity Castle here, folks, so we're not going to go into the private land. Well, this is all private land probably down here, but we're not going into the castle ground. We're just going to stick to the edge of the field here. And then negotiate down to our ancient historical wonder. This is danger right here, folks. We'll have to come down to cow level, and we need to get through the end of this field. Hopefully before the cows see us, because cows will alert each other that we're here, and they'll all come running. Real missions, folks, once again on the channel. I'm running because they've not noticed me. If they had noticed me, I wouldn't be running, because they would start running as well, potentially. But it looks like we've done it. We've made it. We can see their fresh footprints here, because this is where they were when we came through. So we've made it down to the point in the river here where the old burn meets the river South Esk. And the next point of interest, the river Prosen joins the river South Esk somewhere down here. That's like the joining of two mega burns, mega rivers, and it all floats out eventually into the, where does it go, Montrose Basin?
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
And into the North Sea, folks. And look, the river's quite high. So you could walk around the edge of there. Look at the river, it's fairly swelled, like. Here, that looks like it could have been something there, but it's maybe just a low-lying bit of ground. So the reason that burn, well, we followed where the old burn used to go, but the reason they had to divert it was because there's an old mill over there, and that was needing more water. So that was the reason all that went down. That was like a time in history when you were allowed to re-divert water. Probably kept the mill running another few years. See this bit down here, the back of it looks fairly eroded. Those trees are just hanging on the top of that cliff. The river's high, you can tell on the river bank, eh? It's going right up onto the green grass. There's so much debris here left in the river. Oh look, we found it. We found the historical wonder, folks. What can I say? Look at it over here. So this is like a massive stone dike which has been used to re-divert the water at one time, and we're not even sure the reason why, but it might have been to stop it flooding this area.
Yeah.
Maybe even something to do with the old mill. Or who knows, folks. We'll go and take a closer look. Probably fishermen come down here. It looks like this is freshly been walked on. The water's proper swirling today, like. So this is it, folks. Once again, real adventures here on the channel. This is the sort of place we absolutely love. Probably a lot of work's gone in to building again this back whenever it was built. We reckon it could be like early 1900s or something this was used, this was built. Because it is a serious amount of like stones. It must have been stones that were just lying in the local area. It's crazy because the river's like way over there, so I just wonder like what has this been built for, folks? We've got the ancient like Inverquharity Castle and that over there. The old mill there. Has this been related to those places? Who knows? The mission to get here was cool on its own, but this is what we really came to see. Look, it starts here with like stones, almost like it's a dike. Look at it. So it's maybe like the stones have been dug out from here already or something, because they're all missing. Look at this. It's proper like stones built like a dam. It's a little bit like Ald Bar Dam, which featured on a video. There's like old remains of multiple fences over the years, which probably have been washed away by the river when it's high. Maybe they were sick of this bit just getting worn away every time there was a storm, and this was like the ultimate way to defend it. Yeah, they're all built together so well.
Yeah, like a dry stone wall.
And look, it goes on for ages, right through here. Crazy, folks. Who even knew this was here? Think of all the work that went into building a thing like this back. Probably when there was like horse and carts. I'm guessing so, the river must have come right against this. But it's like they've designed it almost so that if there's water here it can flow easier. But if it's trying to come back this way it's not so easy, eh? Because the way the slopes are. The size of this structure is crazy. It just keeps on going and going. And you can see like how much stone it is compared to the size of a human there with AKR standing in the middle. It must be a good like 200 metres long from what I can see so far. And they've used no mortar. It's like dry stone diking in a way. They've just built each stone in to fit perfectly. And it's incredible what they've done because every stone's different. It's like the rough, rugged stone that would have been lying around. Looks like the ground has maybe sunk in places there. It just keeps on going and going. This is so cool. Do you think it was when they re-diverted that burn? Nah, this is probably older, eh? It's almost like a dam the way it's coming to this like bit of ground here. Yeah, maybe there's been another settlement nearer here that's gone now. But this, it's maybe even to do with the castle. To stop the water from eroding their fields. See it here, you can actually see the shape of it. The water must have eroded a lot here away. But they've actually built it so far into the ground. That's the reason it stopped eroding it to that line. Under my feet it looks like the stones have stopped, but they're not, they're still there. It must just be so damp and moist in here that they're just overgrown. How far up this way does it go?
Well, it's just more like a natural bank here.
There's a wee fishing hutty over there, look. This is definitely still the stones here. Yeah. Looks like the natural lie of the land there. Some of the stones they've used are so big. It's kind of the way they've built it, it's getting looser and looser now because it's all eroded out. Yeah, it almost looks like when we're standing here, folks, at the furthest end of this place, what we're calling a dam. It looks like the river's probably come down both sides of this little bit here, and it's maybe been, they've been needing this ground here, so they've dammed it just to make the river go one route instead of two. Look at that, it's washed out. There's just some bits of it, there's just massive holes right down through it. Yeah, so we just had a wee look there. That's as far as it goes to the edge of this. So it has been to redirect the water for some reason. I'm going to have to look back historical maps and references of this area and see what I can see. Look at that. The white mushrooms are in here, so cool. I can't believe the labour that must have gone into building a thing like this. It must have been somebody with plenty of money to redirect the water supply. Maybe for fishing, or maybe they didn't have enough water going down that side. So to improve their fishing, they maybe redirected this bit where it joins in two. That's somebody's little fishing hut at the other side, I can see there. Looks like a cool wee spot they've got for themselves. So much stone's gone in here, it's probably like the length of 1.5 football pitches or something. That's a Scottish football pitch for an American one. I would say it's probably like 200 metres long. But maybe just over the years the river's just kept moving further and further that way because of the way it meanders. It's crazy how much rivers move like that over the years as they meander. But certainly back in the early 1900s, they did so much with the control of water. They were always controlling the flow of water, and they knew what they were doing. Stuff like this. It's like in the middle of nowhere. Abandoned Scotland, folks. Abandoned historical nuggets. So much stones, eh? So from this back side here, you can really see the size and the scale of it. Massive. And it looks like, from a distance, it looks like the stones have all just landed there. But really, it's been built there strong, and it's so strong, it stands even years after the river's nowhere near it. Years after it's not needed, it still stands here strong. Probably eventually it'll be covered by the moss in the grass. Right folks, that's been some cool things we've seen in this episode. The ancient Roman fort. What else? The cows. And then this. It's been definitely worth coming down here for a look. Next time we'll maybe come from the other side up the path by this river and look at some other cool historical artefacts like. Anyway, I'll end this video here folks. Thanks very much for watching. Tune in very soon to see what happens on the path back, because I'll probably start recording it in the next episode right now. So if I get chased by any cows or trampled, you'll see it in the next episode folks.